Imagine this. You walk into a palace that has stood for centuries, a place that outlasted world wars, political revolutions, and royal scandals too numerous to count. But this time, the threat isn't coming from outside forces. It's coming from within, from a prince who walked away from the monarchy, cashed in on Netflix deals, trashed his own family on global television, and is now reportedly demanding to walk right back in as if nothing ever happened. This isn't reconciliation. This is extortion dressed up as family therapy. And if the leaks are true, Prince Harry's peace talks with King Charles are nothing short of delusional. Welcome to the world of royal chaos, where Meghan Markle must be bowed to, William must curtsy to his sister-in-law, and the monarchy is apparently expected to bankroll the very people who spent the past 3 years trying to tear it apart. So, buckle in, because today we're tearing open the layers of this scandal. The absurd demands, the manipulative tactics, the PR games, and most importantly, what this circus really says about the future of the monarchy. But first, if you want more unfiltered exposés that cut through the royal spin machine, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because trust me, the drama ahead isn't slowing down anytime soon. Let's start with the so-called Peace Summit. Now, when normal families sit down to heal old wounds, there's usually humility involved. Maybe an apology. Maybe just a willingness to listen. But Harry? He reportedly showed up with a list. Not just any list. A list of royal ultimatums so outrageous it makes Game of Thrones look understated. At the very top, Meghan Markle must be treated as royalty. Full HRH treatment. Bows, curtsies, the works. Think about that for a second. Meghan voluntarily left royal duties. She fled the palace for California. She trashed the family on Oprah, on Netflix, in podcasts, and in Harry's tell-all memoir. And now, she apparently expects the family she torched to line up and bow when she enters the room. And here's the kicker. Harry wants Prince William, the future King of England, to bow to Meghan, his own brother. If you can't hear the collective sound of royal insiders choking on their tea, you're not listening closely enough. One palace aide reportedly called it delusional. Frankly, that's putting it politely. Because, let's be honest, this isn't about respect. It's about rewriting history. It's about Meghan being inserted back into the monarchy she publicly rejected, this time on her own terms. Harry wants full taxpayer-style protection for himself, Meghan, and their kids whenever they're in the UK. We're not talking about a couple of guards. He's reportedly demanding comprehensive, bulletproof coverage, funded not by the British government, but by King Charles personally. That's right. After a court already ruled that Harry, as a non-working royal, isn't entitled to taxpayer protection, he's now trying to shift the burden onto his father. It's not about safety. It's about leverage. Because the message is clear. We'll only visit the UK if you pay up. And let's be honest here. This is a couple living in a $14 million Montecito mansion with Netflix and Spotify checks flowing in. If they really cared about safety, they could afford their own security. But no, what they want is symbolic. They want Charles to foot the bill. Because that signals to the world that Harry and Meghan are still part of the royal inner circle. Harry reportedly wants Buckingham Palace to muzzle the press. No paparazzi, no critical coverage, no sneaky interviews. Basically, the British press should roll out a red carpet of silence whenever Harry and Meghan touch down. Newsflash, that's not how the free press works. This isn't North Korea. The monarchy doesn't control Instagram, TikTok, or the paparazzi camped outside Heathrow. But Harry's demands show exactly where his head is. He doesn't want reconciliation. He wants control. Control of his image, control of Meghan's narrative, control of how the monarchy is portrayed. And when you add these demands together, the picture becomes painfully clear. Harry isn't looking for peace. He's trying to renegotiate the terms of Megxit 4 years after the fact. Royal insiders say these demands don't just have Harry's fingerprints. They have Meghan's claws all over them. And that tracks. Because from the moment she entered the royal orbit, Meghan has treated the monarchy not as an institution, but as a stage, a platform, a brand extension. Every move calculated, every silence strategic, every demand crafted to shift the balance of power. Some insiders believe Meghan is orchestrating this peace talk as a way to claw back legitimacy, to force the monarchy into validating her after years of rejection. And if that's true, then what we're seeing isn't just a family feud, it's a power play. On one side, you have a son making outrageous demands. On the other, you have the institution itself, the crown, the legacy, the entire weight of centuries. If Charles gives in, he undermines William. He sends the message that tantrums and Netflix documentaries can bend the monarchy to your will. But if Charles refuses, he risks detonating what little relationship he has left with Harry, and he risks another wave of Oprah-style sob stories where Harry paints himself as the victim of a cold, unfeeling father. It's a lose-lose, and Charles knows it, which is why insiders say his advisors are urging him to do the unthinkable. Say no. Flat out reject Harry's terms. Because this isn't just about family anymore. It's about the survival of the monarchy. And speaking of survival, let's talk about William. If Charles is wavering, William is not. Sources close to him say his position is crystal clear. Absolutely not. No bowing to Meghan, no special treatment, no bending the knee to a couple who turned their backs on the crown. For William, this isn't personal anymore. It's existential. He's building the future of the monarchy alongside Kate. And he knows caving to Harry now would set a precedent that destroys everything. Because if Harry can storm out, trash the family, then storm back in demanding perks, what's to stop anyone else from doing the same? William's message is simple. Protect the crown at all costs. Rumours swirl that Harry may be working on a new project, possibly involving Diana's brother, Earl Spencer. And if that's true, we could be heading straight into another royal firestorm. Because let's not forget, Earl Spencer delivered that unforgettable eulogy at Diana's funeral, blasting the royals while the world watched. He's never been shy about criticising the crown. So if he teams up with Harry to weaponise Diana's legacy against the monarchy, the damage could be nuclear. This isn't reconciliation. This is narrative warfare. One side playing by tradition, the other rewriting the rules entirely. Harry and Meghan haven't denied these reports. Not one word. If the demands weren't real, why not say so? Why not reassure the public that they aren't trying to bully their way back into the palace? The silence is deafening, and it tells you everything you need to know. It means the monarchy is facing a fracture unlike any in modern history, not because of wars or politics, but because of family members who see the crown not as duty, but as leverage. For Harry, this is about ego. For Meghan, it's about validation. And for the monarchy, it's about survival. This is no longer a family spat. It's a battle for legitimacy. So here's the question. What happens next? If Charles gives in, he weakens the monarchy. If he refuses, he risks losing his son forever. Either way, the crown takes a hit. And as for Harry and Meghan, Their demands reveal the truth. They don't want reconciliation. They want power. They want the perks of royalty without the responsibility. The monarchy has weathered scandals for centuries, but this one feels different, because this time the threat isn't outside the gates. It's sitting at the family table. And unless the crown draws a line, the institution itself risks becoming just another reality show, scripted, manipulated, and hollow. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next exposé. Because trust me, the royal drama is only just beginning. And now, I want to hear from you. Should King Charles cave to Harry's demands or cut ties once and for all? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and don't buy the fairy tale.